between Broadford and Ballylanders, both teams with one win each. Well, sorry, one team. Broadford with one win, and of course Ballylanders with a draw against St. Senans. Sunny conditions here. I'm joined in commentary today by Matt O'Callaghan of the Vale Star Weekly Observer. Matt, how do you think today's going to go?
Yeah, I suppose the conditions aren't perfect, but there is a strong breeze that is blowing from the people that would know the Kilmallock ground here, from the Emmett Street and right up to the Millmount end, and it's the type of breeze that, having been down on it before we came up here, you would think it could be in a football game worth anything up to 4 or 5 points. So I suppose that heightens the importance of the toss, who will win the toss, and who will and the choice of ends to get a good start. In your intro there, you said Drom have one win out of 2. They lost in the opening round to Adair and subsequently beaten a Piershig in the second round. Ballylanders, on the other hand, have had a draw with newly promoted St. Senans in the opening game and lost to Adair, the county champions, in the second round in the Piershig, on an evening in which Ballylanders looked to be quite competitive and were in the game for quite a long time, and possibly, one could say, were a bit unlucky, perhaps not to get something out of it. But this is the third round of a 5-round series, and traditionally, if you look back through the championship, since it's been in this format for a number of years, they talk about the British Open as the third day being the day that things begin to happen and moves start to happen. They also start to happen in the group stages in the third round, because 2 rounds there's a bit of feeling what's going on, but it's serious business from here on in. And it would look that in this particular group, which is Group 1 of the Irish Wire Products Senior Football Championship, that one of the 3 knockout positions has been already nailed. It has mathematically been nailed because Adair have 3 wins out of 3, the county champions. So basically you have 5 clubs vying for what is now 2 places.
Okay, thanks for that, Matt. Quick check on the teams now. Dromcollogher, Broadford line out as follows. In goals, James Noonan. They have a full back line of Jack Ryan, Garrett Noonan and Sean O'Sullivan. The half back line contains Keith Lacey, Ross Egan and Dee O'Leary. In midfield, Micheál O'Sullivan and Killian Fahy. Half forward line of Patrick Stack, Dennis Donegan and Gerard O'Gorman, and full forward line of Derry McCarthy, Micheál Brosnan and Kevin Noonan, who captains the side. For Ballylanders, they line out as follows. Declan O'Connor's in goals, Moss Kelly, Shane Fox and Owen Martin make up the full back line. Brian O'Connell, Stephen Walsh and Tom O'Dwyer at wing back. In midfield, Liam Martin and Mark O'Connell. And the half forward line, Owen O'Mahony, Kieran Kelly and Danny Froon. Full forward line then is made up by Jimmy Barry Murphy, Owen Walsh and Steve Fox. Referee this evening is Mike Sexton, and he's awaiting Ballylanders, both captains of Ballylanders and Drom Broadford. Matt, as you've already mentioned, a huge game for both teams. A win here for either one of them puts them a long way going through to the quarter-finals.
Well, it puts them in a strong position to challenge for a place. I wouldn't say that it would put them through. Obviously, a win for Dromcollogher, Broadford, would be more valuable for them in that they already have 2 points to put them on 4. Ballylanders on 1. Ballylanders, of course, have to be mindful that a defeat here would leave them with 1 point out of 6. And Monaleen to come next, so it won't be certainly getting any easier. And like Ballylanders had a flirtation with relegation in 2016. It's only 4 years since Ballylanders were county champions, but in the intervening years they had to depend on a relegation playoff in 2016 to preserve their senior status. So a win is probably of greater importance to Ballylanders for that reason than it is to Drom Broadford. But looking at the Drom Broadford team, John, it's a very interesting side in that we have been so accustomed over the years to the great stalwarts of Drom Broadford, like over the last 2 decades. and the records will substantiate this. Drom Broadford had been the leading light in the Limerick Senior Football Championship. 7 county championships in that period, reaching the semi-final, practically permanent residents of the last 4. But when you just look through the team tonight now, I know that Shawnee Buckley was named to play. He's not playing. But like there are such names as Micheál Reedy, Pat Donnelly, Jason Stokes, the men that were accustomed to being the stalwarts of the team, they are no longer with us and are no longer involved. So you're looking at a Drom Broadford team that are probably very, very much in transition. You're looking at a Drom Broadford team that are looking to new generation for leaders. All right, now you have experienced players in there like Theo Leary, Garrett Noonan, they have seen it all. Micheál O'Sullivan has been around a long time. Derry McCarthy has been around. Micheál Brosnan.
We're underway here in Kilmallock. It's Ballylanders on the attack straight away, but an interception by Ross Egan. He's lined out at centre back, and Drom Broadford on the attack down the right hand side. Dennis Donegan has possession and lose it free into Drom Broadford. Foul on Dennis Donegan. Matt, as we see, Ballylanders claimed the breeze in the first half.
Yes, Ballylanders, whether they won the toss or whether Drom won the toss and opted to play with the wind, I don't know, but Ballylanders certainly have the advantage of the breeze. I'm just trying to pick up how Ballylanders are setting themselves out. I can see already that it is not as per the programme, so I'll just work on that for a minute or two.
And chance early on for Drom Broadford. Killian Fahy, a goal! Great start here for Drom Broadford, a well worked move, and Killian Fahy wasn't tracked, ran right through the middle, and what a start for Drom Broadford, Matt.
Absolutely, this is a dream start. We have less than a minute gone, and the ball is in the Ballylanders net. But it was, the personnel may change in Drom Broadford, but the system doesn't change. It was the patient build up and putting it through the hands, and then Killian Fahy, of course, was the right man to get on the end of a move like that.
It's Fahy inside again, but it's cut out by Ballylanders. They'll have to recover from that nightmare start, and they'll get a free here, referee Mike Sexton. It's Micheál Brosnan with the foul, and Ballylanders launch an attack from centre back, and Stephen Walsh. Stephen Walsh gives it outside. Mark O'Connell straight down the line to Danny Fruin. Looking inside, long ball, crossfield ball. It's a free in, Mike Sexton gives. For an instant off the ball, tugging the jersey of Owen Walsh by the looks of things. Should be a straightforward free, 22 metres out. Yeah,
it's a very important free, John, because Ballylanders need an immediate response, and you'd sort of back Jimmy Barry to put this one over. He's left-footed, and the angle would seem just about right for him, but there's little room for error, even though it is the early minutes, but Ballylanders need a response.
Jimmy Barry Murphy lines it up, strikes with the left foot, straight over the bar, and that's a goal for Drom Broadford, 1 point for Ballylanders. Badly needed, Matt.
Yeah, certainly Bally needed that response, especially since they're playing with the breeze.
It's James Noonan's kick out, Ross Egan up, but it's Danny Fruin that wins it and gets the mark. He decides to play on. Shooting opportunity for Danny Fruin. It looks good from here, and that's a wonderful score from Danny Fruin. He won the kick out, raced away with a 20-metre run, and tapped it straight over the bar.
Yeah, the response you'd have to say from Ballylanders is exactly what Mike Fox and his management team wanted, and that certainly Danny Fruin is a confidence player, and that will certainly boost his confidence in these early moments.
Another kick up by James Noonan, and once more Ballylanders have picked up the break. Ryan O'Connell down the wing, back inside to Owen Walsh. Mark O'Connell, 45 metres out, gives it inside to Jimmy Barry Murphy with the breeze, 45 metres out. Looks to be tailing to the right, and that's the first wide of the evening.
Yeah, it certainly was on his favoured left foot, and the angle appeared to be right. He will be disappointed, but I think Ballylanders in general will be quite happy with the response, because the concession of a goal in the first minute of a football game is a blow, John.
Drom Broadford win that kick out, and they're on the attack now, and here comes Dennis Donegan. Huge size of a man, Dennis Donegan cuts back inside, hand passes off but loses possession poorly, and here come Ballylanders on the attack. Danny Fruin, he's ghosted 30 metres without any channel, hand pass inside. Steve Fox has it, goes for goal, over the bar, we're level here in Kilmallock.
That was an excellent score, and it originated back in the Ballylanders half-back line, where there was an unforced error by Dennis Donegan, and Ballylanders worked the ball straight through to Danny Fruin, of course, who made a lot of ground up the middle and spotted Stephen Fox in the advanced position, and perhaps for a brief second or two there was an opportunity of a goal there.
Indeed there was, and from Broadford have won the kick out. Killian Fahy with the ball on the left wing, back inside to Garrett Noonan. Fellow Limerick team, and Noonan advances past one man, hand passes inside. Patrick Stack with on ball, he lays it off to D. O'Leary, the very experienced D. O'Leary into Donegan. Donegan gives it long. And 50-50 ball, Drom Broadford have won it. It's Micheál Brosnan. Brosnan looking to take on Shane Fox. Back outside to Derry McCarthy. McCarthy, he has a go into the breeze. Derry McCarthy, and that's a great score from Derry McCarthy to put Drom Broadford back into the lead.
An excellent score from Derry McCarthy. Derry McCarthy, of course, is one of Drom Broadford's most experienced players, and he'd be one of the players that Mike Fahy and Mike Quaid and his management team would be looking to provide the leadership. That was an excellent score.
Ballylanders back on the attack with Steve Fox after taking a pass from Fruin. Fox embarks and run, looks inside, a 50-50 hand pass and mopped up by Drom Broadford, and Keith Lacey into the ball back across the square into Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan has Patrick Stack ahead of him, and Stack will bring it forward over on the far side here in Parkwick Yard in Kilmallock. He gives it inside to the deep Kevin Noonan, captain of the Drom Broadford team, to Fahy. Fahy to Noonan, and back inside again. Noonan manages to keep possession, and back inside to Derry McCarthy. Drom Broadford, patient build up so far, not wanting to put it in long into the breeze, but it's a low ball in. And Drom Broadford gave possession. Micheál Brosnan against two Ballylanders men wins possession. I know Fahy has the ball once more. He's already scored one goal. He goes through again, fists the ball, but the ball went wide from the hand-fisted effort, but Mike Sexton has brought it back for a free, which should be a fairly easy one for Drom Broadford, Matt. Yeah,
you would imagine so, but it was good use of the advantage rule by Mike Sexton there, and certainly I think he's consulting with the linesman now, who obviously saw something and is bringing it to his attention, but he's not. He's calling over. I think it's Brian O'Connell he's calling over. I just think he's happy to have a word with him. There is no bookwork or anything like that. But I think it's Kevin Noonan that's standing up to this, and I think you'd back him to put it over.
Noonan from pretty much straight in front, taps that over, and Drom Broadford are into a 2-point lead. Just one quick thing for Ballylanders, Matt, looking that Killian Fahy has ghosted through the middle twice now. He scored a goal in the first minute, and now he's been the cause of a point from Ballylanders' point of view, something that they have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's something, but I suppose it's trademark Killian Fahy. Wherever he plays, he seems to have this propensity to go forward and to drive forward and to inspire those around him to go forward. And you're right, he was responsible for the goal, and he was directly responsible for the point on that occasion. He possibly could have scored it, he just missed it, but he certainly drew the foul which Kevin Noonan subsequently converted.
A great run there from Brian O'Connell, as Matt was talking there. Leads to a free 45 metres from goal, one which Jimmy Barry Murphy will fancy himself, Matt.
I think he will with the aid of the breeze. I don't think he will be caught for distance in this one. I think he will be trying to ensure accuracy.
So Jimmy Barry Murphy lining it up with his left foot. 45 metres from goal, he takes a few steps. It's a good strike, and it's straight over the black spot here, and Point for Ballylanders. 1 point between the teams again, Matt.
Yeah, Ballylanders needed that response because the last 2 points have gone to Broadford, and they're back in it. But we must be mindful that time is ticking on. All right, there are only 10 minutes gone, but there is a strong breeze there, and Ballylanders will need to have some bit of a cushion going in at half time. That's an excellent point from Mona Mahoney.
Wonderful score there from Mona Mahoney. He caught a poor enough kick out from James Noonan and punished it to the full, and we're all square again here in Kilmallock.
Yeah, absolutely all square. So I think that's the second or third Drom Broadford kick out that Ballylanders have successfully won, and it's certainly the second kick out which has that they won, and it has led to a score.
James Noonan will be looking for a better result this time out. He goes long, Patrick Stack is there to win it, but the ball loses possession. And it's Ballylanders that come away with it, and it's Ona Mahoney wins a free. I think there'd be better advice to slow this down. Jimmy Barry Murphy strolling out, absolutely wasting time, Matt, into the breeze.
Yeah, well, I don't think is Jimmy Barry. He's coming out for this one. Talking of Ona Mahoney, of course, is a former Limerick minor player, and I think he showed his qualities there. That was an excellent score. That last score for Ballylanders. Now this is a difficult one for Jimmy Barry.
Looks like he's going to strike it, cutting across the ball. Jimmy, it's travelling. And it's tipped over the bar by James Noonan. A wonderful free, all of 50 metres. Jimmy Barry Murphy cutting across the ball, floating it in the breeze.
Yeah, and absolutely excellently taken free, because it was at a difficult angle. All right, it was probably more suitable for a left-footed kicker, which Jimmy Barry Murphy is, but he measured it to perfection, both distance and accuracy.
And another kick out, Drom Broadford kick out, won by Ballylanders. Working the ball inside, Brian O'Connell, pot shot from Brian, but that's not going to be an issue. It was going wide, but James Noonan decides to keep it in play and gives it off to Patrick Stack inside his own 45, going up the right wing. Looks inside for Ross Egan. Ross Egan has to check back and give it back to Stack. Micheál O'Sullivan now, another big man, the Drom Broadford team, to Garrett Noonan. Noonan, easy pass to Fahy, and Fahy will go off on one of them trademark runs. Out the wing to Keith Lacey. Keith Lacey, 2 points in this championship to date. Back inside, Brosnan. Ballylanders coping well, getting enough men back, and ultimately coming out with possession, but Noonan's there to win it. And Derry McCarthy using all his experience to end up in the right place at the right time. Kevin Noonan, left foot ball, oceans of space for Keith Lacey. Is Micheál Brosnan in his left, in loads of room as well. Brosnan scoring chance. It's a wild shot from Micheál Brosnan that won't trouble the goals. But Drom Broadford managed to keep possession. In fact, they don't. It's fisted out over the sideline by Gerard O'Gorman. Matt, a missed chance from Drom Broadford.
I'm not so sure it was a missed chance, John, in that he lofted it, and I suppose it gave us a sense of the strength of the breeze, in that when he lofted it high, the breeze took it, and it actually ended up at the same point at the far side of the field from which it was kicked. It was almost a straight cross-field kick.
Ballylanders didn't make use of the sideline ball and are penalised for overcarrying. Gives Kevin Noonan an opportunity to level matters once again. Noonan's left-footed strike. He keeps it low enough, but it's accurate. And we're all square again here in Kilmallock.
Yeah, all square again. I suppose on the balance of play, John, that's just about right.
Back underway again now with the kick out from Declan O'Connor. Declan goes long and high with this one. Out to zone 65, and Ballylanders are onto the break once more. Ball's given inside, long ball inside, looking for Owen Walsh. Owen Walsh has been given another free. Drom Broadford aren't happy with that decision. Sean O'Sullivan, the man penalised, but again it's another opportunity for Jimmy Barry Murphy. And Drom Broadford need to cut out these frees, Matt.
Yeah. I don't think there was much doubt about it. And the referee, fair play to Mike Sexton, he spotted it. It was quite a distance from him, but I think he got the call right. Now I know he has angered some of the drum bench down here on our right. But
it's a yellow card for Sean O'Sullivan as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure that may be for verbals as much as I'm not sure now whether it was for the actual incident or it may have been for verbals.
1-3 to 6 points, all square here in Kilmallock. Jimmy Barry Murphy with a chance to put one between the teams again. It should be scoreable looking at what Jimmy's done so far. Some excellent shooting from his left foot. He lines this one up. And simple as you like, straight over the bar.
Yeah, comfortably, and of course, again, we have to say that the free takers have been lucky. They're both left-footed, the main marksmen, and the frees seem to have been coming in the right place. Well, with probably the exception of Jimmy Barry Murphy's last free, which was an excellent score.
Quick kick out here from Broadford. Garrett Noonan trying to work it. He gives it inside to Sean O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan under pressure from two Ballylanders men, gives it off to O'Gorman back inside to his midfield partner Micheál O'Sullivan. Out to the right, and Broadford have it once more. Back inside, Noonan moving up the field from full back to Donegan. Donegan has to look back again inside. Patrick Stack has it. Slow build up here from the 7 times Limerick senior football champions from Broadford. Derry McCarthy looking, searching to find someone, gives it in long to Kevin Noonan. Noonan has it, but he doesn't have much to go, but a brilliant step inside, and he's in and along the end line. Noonan comes back out. He's happy to take the free that Mike Sexton has awarded. Slow, ponderous build up, but they'll be happy to get the free, Matt.
They'll be happy to get the free, and this one will. It's actually Derry McCarthy's going to take this one. It looks as if Kevin Noonan will take him from the left, from the right, and Derry McCarthy will take him from the left. Right-footed kicker Derry McCarthy. Of course, Drom Broadford, we spoke about the stalwarts that were missing. 2 of the current side are missing as well this evening in Kevin Noonan's twin brother Brian, who has joined the Gandhi recently, is an absentee, as is Mike Boyce, who is on honeymoon. And Derry McCarthy nailed it absolutely perfect.
All square again, yes. Difficult angle for Derry McCarthy, but it proved not to be an issue whatsoever for him. Showing all his experience, just floating that one over. And we're all square once more here in Kilmallock. Kick out for Ballylanders. Declan O'Connor, he goes long, but it's easy for Garrett Noonan. He marks it. He decides not to and plays away. Derry McCarthy, 40 metres out, gives it inside to Keith Lacey. Lacey has Stack outside. Patrick Stack, back to Derry McCarthy. McCarthy, he looks for goal, decides to offload it instead to O'Gorman. O'Gorman back outside. Kevin Noonan, he'll be one of the people they'll want on the ball to get a shot away. Instead it's worked back into the middle with Derry McCarthy again. Great ball outside to Fahy. Will he mark on a run again? He's up against Mark O'Connell. Fahy, left-footed shot. It's not going on goal, but Ballylanders collect easily, and out they come again. Owen O'Mahony carrying 3 Broadford men alongside him, so he decides to go long and looks, and it's misjudged by Sean O'Sullivan. Goal on here. Owen Walsh, is there a goal on? It's Danny Froon. Danny's happy to tap it over the bar, and that's the lead for Ballylanders once more. A misjudgment by Sean O'Sullivan in the Drom Broadford defence, and Ballylanders could have punished it to the full, but they were happy to take their point, Matt.
Happy to take their point, but it was excellent the way that Owen Walsh judged what might have happened, and he had a free run then to pick out Danny Froon, and Danny Froon executed the point perfectly.
As Ballylanders win the kick out once more, they've picked up a lot of the breaks from Drom Broadford's kickouts. And it's Danny Froon once more outside of the right boot into Jimmy Barry Murphy. Proves to be too high for him, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Drom Broadford. It was D. O'Leary. Kicks back inside his 21 to Garrett Noonan. Noonan, hand pass to Fahy. He takes his man on and beats him with ease. Fahy straight down the middle again. Inside to Donegan. Donegan lays it off to Noonan on his own 45-metre line. And it's Noonan again, a good 1-2 with Donegan. Noonan going down the left wing. It's too high for Keith Lacey. Ballylanders trying to fan back now and get men back in their defence. And from Broadford will start again. Fahy inside, and there's loads of room here for Micheál O'Sullivan. Into Derry McCarthy. McCarthy will shoot from all of 40 metres. It's a good effort, but it's left to the post and wide for Drom Broadford.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time that in the game that they have misfired. I think at this point in time, given the breeze, and I don't want to overemphasize the breeze, it doesn't win a game for anybody ultimately, but I think with 20 minutes gone now that Drom Broadford, even though they trail by a point, I think they will probably be slightly, if not a good bit, happier.
A stoppage in the game. Mike Sexton has blown his whistle, a hit off the ball, and Jimmy Barry Murphy seems to be what has happened. And certainly Jimmy is he's complaining that that's what's happened anyway, Matt.
Yeah. Jimmy doesn't seem to be, he seems to, he has an issue with his gloves, is it, or is he after picking up a knock?
It's either way, it's a yellow card for D. O'Leary on the Drom Broadford side, their second of the day. After Sean O'Sullivan was shown a yellow card a few minutes ago. Not sure what happened there, Matt. It was off the ball, but Jimmy seems to be sorted now.
Yeah, well, we followed the flight of the ball, but it was a problem with his glove with Jimmy, which seems to be resolved, and he's ready to go again. But Ballylanders are after coughing up a needless free there now.
Yeah, handled on the ground by Owen Walsh, and Drom Broadford relaunch another attack. It's Keith Lacey outside to Gerard O'Gorman. O'Gorman cuts back inside, looking for the space, and it's Garrett Noonan. Back inside, and off goes O'Gorman, a powerful man. Low ball in, it's a poor one. Easily mopped up by Stephen Walsh, the former Limerick senior hurler and footballer. He gives it inside to Owen, his brother. Hand pass by Owen, brilliantly done by Danny Fruin. Great hands shown from the half forward there, and he gives it ball in. He's looking for Kieran Kelly. Kieran Kelly will get there first. James Noonan's come off his line. Kelly looks back inside to Kelly, into Jimmy Barry Murphy. But Jimmy Barry Murphy, a scoreable chance, and has gone right at the post. Good chance there, Matt, for Ballylanders.
It's a good chance. I think he will be disappointed with it. But Drom Broadford have a triangle of huge men here in the middle of the field. There's Gerard O'Gorman, there's Michael O'Sullivan, and there's Dennis Dunnigan at centre forward, and they're trying to get them onto the ball and to win the ball, and the runners play off them, and they're having a certain degree of success.
Off we go again with a line ball, and it's Derry McCarthy in midfield with Drom Broadford. Going somewhat sideways, advancing a little bit forward. Derry leaves it off. It's Patrick Stack. He'll come back inside to O'Sullivan. Michael O'Sullivan now. Long ball into space, and Gerard O'Gorman, if he could have got to it, was pretty much through on goal, but that's gone out for a line ball to Ballylanders. A little bit of a lucky escape, bit of an accuracy from Drom Broadford. Yeah,
a misplaced pass, and certainly gave Gerard O'Gorman too much to do. I don't think a bike would even have salvaged that one, but he chased it anyway. So, and it's another line ball to Ballylanders.
Yes, it is, and Stephen Walsh looks to take it. Looking at his options, Stephen Walsh gives it inside, 50-50 ball, and it's won by Jack Ryan of Drom Broadford. Lacey inside to O'Sullivan, and they'll launch again. Kevin Noonan's come out from his corner forward position. Dennis Donegan. Not many are going to push Dennis off the ball. A serious size of a man, as Matt has already mentioned. Wanted to triumph for it in the middle of the park for Drom Broadford. Garrett Noonan inside. Killian Fahy get back to Donegan. Donegan has a man out the right wing in acres of space. It's Patrick Stack. Stack comes back inside. Well worked move here from Drom Broadford. The shot is from Micheál Brosnan, but it's easily taken by Declan O'Connor, and Ballylanders come away with Brian O'Connell. Brian O'Connell inside to Kieran Kelly. Kelly. Just patient play here from Ballylanders, working the ball out of the fence. Not under enough pressure from a Drom Broadford point of view, but they'll come away with Stephen Walsh. Walsh, bit of a misplaced pass, but O'Mahony gets to it, and Ballylanders, off they go again. O'Mahony takes the ball back, and it's Walsh. Walsh goes, beats one, beats two, and off he goes down the left wing. Pass inside to Owen Walsh. Jimmy Barry Murphy inside in his own in the full forward line. They don't look to give it into him yet, and Mark O'Connell has it. Heading towards the Drom Broadford 45. Up against Jack Ryan. He looks back inside. Tom O'Dwyer. Low ball across the surface out to the left wing by O'Dwyer. It's Owen Walsh again. Looking up his options. Back inside to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer fumbles but gains possession again, and Drom Broadford have everyone bar one back inside their own half. Back inside their own 65. to stop this attack. Brian O'Connell runs at the heart and creates a bit of space. Tom O'Dwyer's hand pass off to him. Brian O'Connell's looking for a free, but the free goes inside the 14-metre line to Drom Broadford. Matt.
Ballylanders build up, and I suppose it's characteristic in the game. It's ponderous and it's slow and it's a bit too predictable. And Drom Broadford have all the time on earth to funnel players behind the ball. And you mentioned there in commentary, they had 14 of their 15 players in their own half. The only one in splendid isolation up here on our left was Michal Brosnan. And there was absolutely no way through. It was only a question of leave him play it, leave him make the error, and that's exactly what happened. And whilst Drom, when they come forward, when they break with a bit of pace, break with a bit of purpose, and deliver the ball longer. Ballylanders were over and back the field there for the best part of 2 minutes, and we see what the upshot of it all was: a complete turnover. And plus, there was two banks of defenders in front of them.
Back underway here, Mike Sexton paying advantage for a foul. Owen O'Mahony with a shot. And Owen O'Mahony is to push that one to the left. I'm sure Mike Sexton will revisit the incident that happened right here in front of us in Gantry. It could be a third yellow card for Drom Broadford after an off the ball foul. A late hit more than anything by Ross Egan and Danny Froon. And Ross Egan becomes the third Drom Broadford player to be yellow carded, Matt.
Yeah, so those will have to be careful now, because a second yellow card and you're down to 14 players. This is a tight game, and irrespective of the elements, I think it will remain that way. So it's traditional between these sides, very little between them that can go either way, and certainly nobody will want to be numerically challenged at any stage in this game.
Back underway, and Brian O'Connell gives it down to Owen Walsh. Walsh cuts inside from the right wing and is going towards goal. He leaves the ball off. It's Danny Froon inadvertently gives it back to Walsh, but Jimmy Barry Murphy on the ball. Each time they attack Ballylanders, they look to give it to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Owen Walsh to his brother Stephen, pull on the jersey. Sexton is playing advantage. No advantage accruing, and it'll be another free in a scoreable position for Jimmy Barry Murphy, Matt.
But for foolishly giving away that free, Drom had sucked Ballylanders right back into the same thing, over and back the field, and going literally nowhere. And while all that was happening, they were banking defenders or players behind the ball. And certainly Ballylanders will have to move much faster. They'll have to move the ball longer, I would imagine, and with much more purpose. And the runners will have to run into the space and give the ball carriers and those on the ball options. But as it is now, it looks this is well within Jimmy Barry Murphy's compass, without wanting to put the commentator's curse on him. And this is an opportunity for Ballylanders to go 2 up for the first time.
It's Murphy lines it up now. He's already scored easier frees than that tonight, and no mistake once more. Jimmy Barry Murphy puts Ballylanders into a 2-point lead, arguably deservedly so on the balance of play.
Well, on the balance of play over the last 10 minutes, you would have to say that they're dominating without, for the reasons that I have said, making it count. And there's another kick out that has been won by Ballylanders.
Danny Froon has a go from all of 55 metres. It was probably a needless shot and didn't need to take it on. He knows himself, he acknowledges it to his teammates. But Matt, you just mentioned it again there, another kick out gone astray. Something that Drom Broadford will need to work on at half time, certainly.
Yeah, that's something I'm sure that the management team, when they get him in at half time, they will have to have a plan for the second half, certainly. But maybe the plan in the second half will be to kick longer, try and get it into the area of the two big men. It's not reaching him because of the breeze, and there's a greater likelihood that it will in the second half, so that will be interesting. But it's something that Drom Broadford have to address.
Back with play here in Drom Broadford on the attack from Michal Brosnan. He was employed earlier on as the lone full forward line man. Out the field now, and it's Keith Lacey. His challenge, and it's Stephen Walsh comes away with the ball. Great defender from Ballylanders, and they come on the counter. Walsh and Tony O'Mahony, and all the way outside to Brian O'Connell. Brian O'Connell will be let run with the ball. He'll be advanced as Drom Broadford funnel players back. Owen Walsh back to Brian O'Connell. O'Connell inside. Moss Kelly, misplaced pass to Owen Walsh. As Ballylanders start again, slow build up. Owen O'Mahony inside. Tom O'Dwyer. And it's Brian O'Connell now, or Mark O'Connell, apologies, but it's misplaced pass again, and Micheál Brosnan's away. 2 or 3 defenders, it's 3 versus 2 from Ballylanders' defensive point of view, but Brosnan keeps going. He's a shot, well collected by Declan O'Connor. And a let off in one sense, Ballylanders caught with possession on their own 45.
Caught in possession in their own 45 because they had been playing it over and back, and when with the breeze they should be delivering it into the front men and giving an opportunity to run at the Drom defence.
And that's what Jimmy Barry Murphy's doing right now. He's gone on a 15-metre run to Danny Fruin. It looks to be tailing left and wide, and yes it is. And as you feel, with the strength of the breeze, Ballylanders need to be taking chances. That's two wides in a row for Danny Fruin.
Yeah, and it's Ballylanders' 5th wide in total. And what are we? We're actually in the 29th minute, so we're basically down to into the last minute with whatever time Mike Sexton decides to add on. You see here, this was trying to get it to the big men, and I suppose Mike Sullivan was unlucky there that he didn't catch this, but Ballylanders are in a position now where they may pick up a score.
It's Danny Fruin with his 3rd effort in a row, and once again from a very scoreable position. Fruin has missed the target, and you can't help but feel, given the strength of the conditions, Ballylanders could be left to rue these missed chances later on.
Yeah, you'd have a feeling that these missed opportunities could come back to haunt Ballylanders before this game is out, because they're 2 points up, and you could just imagine had he converted 2 of them, a 4-point cushion would be something worth defending it in the second half. Now it's going to be a very tenuous lead if there's going to be a lead at half time at all, because Drom are on the break here.
Indeed they are, and it's Garrett Noonan combining with Patrick Stack down the right hand side. Noonan leaves it off. He spots Micheál Brosnan inside, manages to keep it from going over the end line. As Brosnan looking for options, it's a short pass to Stack, and a free in awarded. Mike Sexton tried to leave play goal. No advantage accruing. Scoreable free for Kevin Noonan, who's been relatively quiet outside of a couple of frees.
Yeah, and certainly this one would seem to be, whilst it's a bit out and it's at a bit of an angle, it's tailor-made for a left-footed kicker. Again, I think accuracy is what will count here. He certainly won't be short the distance, because what is it, only 20 metres out?
And Noonan makes no mistake with that one, and we're one between the teams again. Lead up to half time. Injury time, that's actually going to be half time. Matt, it's a 1-point lead for Ballylanders here at the break. An impressive first half in a lot of ways from Ballylanders, but from Broadford getting the final score of the half, playing with the advantage of the breeze in the second half. Your thoughts overall after the first half?
Well, it's all to play for there in the second half, but Ballylanders will be bitterly disappointed with their conversion rate. They've had 6 wides, some of which were very, very poor wides. We did say at the outset, and I just dislike harping on and on about the breeze and the effect of the breeze, but we did say that we thought that it could be up to a 4 or a 5-point breeze, that it would be that level of advantage. Ballylanders have a point lead. How they must rue those chances, and they must fear that those missed chances will come back to haunt them.
That's the thoughts of Matt O'Callaghan from the Weekly Observer Vale Star. We'll be back for the second half in a few minutes. Back to Kilmallock here for this Irish Wire product sponsored Limerick Senior Football Championship game between Dromcollogher, Broadford and Ballylanders. Ballylanders lead 9 points to 1-5, Matt, at the break, is it? We've no scoreboard in operation here in Kilmallock today.
Yeah, it's 9 points to 1-5.
Just waiting Ballylanders who are coming back onto the field now. In the first half, Ballylanders will be a bit disappointed to be only 1 point going up at the break with the advantage of a strong breeze. Matt, it's up to Drom Broadford now to make use of the breeze.
Yeah, I expect that they will go on the offensive from the start and press forward. I can confirm that Drom Broadford are going as they finished the first half. They've no changes.
Yeah, there seems to be one change in the Ballylanders. Jason Lee is in. We're waiting to find out who's gone off for Ballylanders.
Jason has come in.
He's gone in the right corner there. Right corner back, marking Derry McCarthy at the start of this half. and he's on for Owen Martin. So that's the one change from what we can see early on before the ball is thrown in. One referee to another on shot at the moment. Mike Sexton, an inter-county referee. Johnny Murphy chatting. Johnny involved with the Ballylanders setup. Ready to go here, Matt. What do you reckon for the second half?
Well, I suppose we always say in the second half, first 10 minutes are crucial. They probably will be crucial. There seems to be a positional switch, which is significant for Drom Broadford already, in that Garrett Noonan seems to be taking up the position at centre half-back. Now Ballylanders are on the offensive.
And it's Owen O'Mahony with the chance. It was a great run from O'Mahony, but sadly for Ballylanders' point of view, his shot was poor and it tailed to the left. That's 4 wides on the trot, encompassing the end of the first half and the start of the second half, man.
Yeah, whilst from Broadford didn't have the same number of chances, they were far more economical with the ones they have. They had only one wide in the first half, and early in the second half they seem to be getting Kieran Kelly on the ball, which
it seems to have worked out as Kelly creates a chance for Jimmy Barry Murphy, and Murphy, who's been by far and away the most successful shot taker and scorer of this game, pops over another one. Ballylanders back into a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and that's an important score for Ballylanders, but it was important in the 2 minutes that we played that we probably have seen more of Kieran Kelly in those 2 minutes than we saw in the entire first half. And he's somebody, if they get into the game, he could certainly hurt the Drom Broadford, because he has lightning pace, very well able to take a score, and he certainly could put Drom Broadford on the hind foot if were they to use him.
Once again, that point came from another poor Drom Broadford goal kick, and it's Drom Broadford on the attack now. Micheál Brosnan gives it inside. And it's Gerard O'Gorman on the run. Gerard O'Gorman has an effort from Farrow, smacks off the post. First to react though is Shane Fox for Ballylanders. He clears the danger and comes away with the ball and leaves it off to Owen O'Mahony. Owen O'Mahony, closely attended by Killian Fahy, pops it back to Fox. Fox plays it back inside to the new man in, Jason Lee. With 30 yards of room, he advances, heading towards his 45 now, and leaves the ball off to Tom O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer into O'Connell. Mark O'Connell advancing down the field, gives it to brother Brian on the left wing. Inside to Owen Walsh. Walsh comes back outside to Fruin. One of Ballylanders' most frequent shooters, Fruin, looking for a shooting space, even into the breeze from 45 metres. Off the great ball inside. And it's Brian O'Connell. He beats his man O'Connell to shoot, O'Connell to score, and Ballylanders into a 3-point lead.
Yeah, that was an excellent pick out by Danny Froon, but a worrying aspect about it from a Ballylanders point of view was that Danny Froon was left for the best part of 30 seconds there. He was trying to hold on to the ball without fouling it, without an option, until Brian O'Connell made the run, and fair play to Danny Froon. He picked out the run straight away and Brian O'Connell executed it was an excellently executed point, and we have another one here from Owen O'Mahony.
And Owen O'Mahony, after another poor kick out from James Noonan, the Drom Broadford goal. It's something that is driving the sideline. The Drom Broadford management team, crackers at the moment is the only way I could describe it, but Ballylanders won't care. They've taken advantage of it all game, and Owen O'Mahony stretches their lead to 4 at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, and I suppose it was the perfect response that Ballylanders would have looked for at half time. Certainly to put Drom on the hind foot, and of course the important thing is that they're moving forward in the second half, moving forward faster and with more purpose, and even more importantly still, they're executing the chances.
It's Killian Fahy with a great run there down the field, 30-metre run, went for the shot, brilliantly blocked by Mark O'Connell, and it's Ballylanders advancing away with the ball again with Mark O'Connell. Hand pass goes astray, but they should still keep possession, and it's new man in, Jason Lee for Ballylanders. He holds possession of the ball. Jason Lee onto Brian O'Connell, popped up with a lovely score, changed hands, and Mike Sexton gives the free. Brian O'Connell looks perplexed as to the awarding of it. Mike Sexton explains to him, and Derry McCarthy looks to be taking this free. lacking movement in the Drom Broadford forward line at the moment, Matt.
Now we're looking for a response from Drom. Like, we were looking for a response from Ballylanders twice in the first half when they went a goal down after a minute, and then when after getting 3 points, when they went a couple of points behind again, and they got the response. Maybe not the entire response that they would have desired, but now we're looking to Drom Broadford for a response, and 'tis they have to come at and chase the game now.
Indeed, and it's a free for Drom Broadford. Out on the left hand side. Drom Broadford looked under a bit of pressure there to hold on to possession, but they managed it, and Derry McCarthy will have the chance to reduce Ballylanders' lead to 3. It's an awkward angle, but usually if Derry strikes them right, they go over the bar. Drom Broadford badly in need of a score to get them back into this game.
It certainly isn't a gimme, John. This is a difficult enough kick.
And he's well capable of scoring. He takes it short. To Micheál O'Sullivan back inside to Derry McCarthy. Should score from here, and Derry McCarthy makes no mistake, and Ballylanders' lead is back to 3. Well worth score, Matt.
Yeah, well worth score, and Ballylanders just for a moment there probably switched off and didn't pick up the run of Mike O'Sullivan, and but it was a well executed score.
Substitution now on the Dromcollogher Broadford team. In comes Peter Mulcahy, and off is Dee O'Leary. Dee had been moved forward into the forward line. It's a poor kick out from Declan O'Connor. He aimed for the run of Danny Froome. It was just a few metres off his target, and a sideline cut for Drom Broadford to be taken by Patrick Stack. Ball, Brosnan tries to take possession, but Ballylanders have it, and that's going to be a Ballylanders line ball. Micheál Brosnan unable to. And Stevie Fox is going to take this for Ballylanders. Easy ball inside to Moss Kelly, and away they come again with Brian O'Connell. Brian gives it long enough into Owen Walsh. Walsh does well to gain possession, leaves off back to Brian O'Connell. Ballylanders now looking for space inside the full forward. It's into Jimmy Barry Murphy, faced up by Jack Ryan, but Jack Ryan is unable to dispossess Jimmy Barry Murphy. Murphy on the run. Leaves the ball back off to Brian O'Connell, who's spent most of his day in the attacking third of the field, making runs. It's Danny Froome now coming in from right. Ball inside. It's a good ball. Chance. Owen Mahoney twists and turns and puts Ballylanders back into a 4-point lead. Lovely score.
Yeah, certainly Ballylanders, you would have to say, in the 8 or 9 odd minutes of the second half are playing much better, much more purposeful, and much more direct. Yes, they're moving it through a certain amount of hands, but they're moving it that bit faster. You're right, Brian O'Connell is making a lot of runs there into the attack, and he's giving options, and certainly Ballylanders have upped their performance. The trick for Ballylanders at this point is to maintain it.
And they win possession from another Drom Broadford kick out. It's been a feature of their game throughout all of the first half, and indeed the early stage of the second half. It's Massador. He's going to have a go outside of his right foot. Looks to be close. Is it over the bar? It's not. It's wide. And I think, Matt, that's their 6th wide of the game.
It's actually their 8 wide, 6 wides in the first half, and now have 2 wides. Taking off Peter Mulcahy, Dee O'Leary, he's one of Drom's most experienced defenders. He has been through the great years, and Peter Mulcahy is a player that's probably less known at this level, but it'll be interesting to see if it will have an impact on Drom Broadford.
And Drom Broadford on the attack. They went short with that kick out and have advanced it down inside the Ballylanders half. Dennis Donegan, he manages to offload to Keith Lace inside to Kevin Noonan, where it's crowded with Ballylanders defenders in midfield. He has to check back out into Michael O'Sullivan, side to Gerald Gorman. There's a bit of room for Patrick Stack. Stack takes on, is well met by a shoulder, but Stack has a shot, hits the inside of the post and over the bar, and there's 3 between them again, Matt.
Yeah, an important score for Drom Broadford, in that it brings it back to 3. It brings them back within touching distance. Bit alarming for Ballylanders. Patrick Stack got into acres of space, and they will just have to close down the space, and that's the second time that the defence has more or less switched off for the Derry McCarthy free prior to this, and now for the Patrick Stack point.
Kick out, the Ballylanders kick out was won by Danny Froome. Well placed kick from Declan O'Connor, but it's Drom Broadford back in possession now, and they're moving in the middle of the park. Derry McCarthy on the ball, been faced by Jason Lee. Hand pass inside to Dennis Donegan. Donegan out the wing to Fahy. Killian Fahy now looking at his options inside. There isn't too many, so he offloads again to Donegan. Donegan powers through. Stephen Walsh comes in with the challenge. Last touch of the ball came off Donegan. Good defending from Stephen Walsh. Goal kick out for Ballylanders.
Excellent defending, and I think from Broadford thought that they were entitled to a 45 there, but the referee again was right on the spot, as was his umpire. No doubt at all about it. I think it's the right call.
Short kick off from Declan O'Connor, and Ballylanders come away with Moss Kelly into Brian O'Connell. Brian O'Connell's looks like the fittest man to feel. He's up and down all the way through the game so far. He gives it inside to Moss Kelly. Moss inside to Stevie Fox. Quite enough first half from Stevie Fox. He's been on the ball more, and another man who's been on the ball more in the second half is Kieran Kelly. Kelly taking on Lacey and beats him with ease. Huge pace here from Kieran Kelly. Decides against taking the shot and leaves it back outside to Stevie Fox. Fox to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Murphy is hit, no free awarded. Played away back inside. There's a ball inside for Owen O'Mahony. O'Mahony's unable to take it, and out it comes. Ross Egan and Kevin Noonan all the way back inside his 14-metre line. Gives it out to Garrett Noonan. Noonan back inside to Kevin Noonan. Noonan, captain of the Drom Broadford team. Their leading scorer of the championship so far, but has been kept relatively quiet by the Ballylanders defence then. That's why you see him back inside his own half. Killian Fahy in the middle of the park now. Left-footed ball from Fahy, but that's a stray. Poor pass from Fahy. He'd expect better of himself from that, and it's going to be a Ballylanders sideline ball. Yeah,
we got a glimpse again of the type of danger that Kieran Kelly is capable of creating. Like the guy has pace to burn, and if Ballylanders could only get him on the ball, but you would have to say in that particular incident that it was very, very good defending by Keith Lacey from Broadford, who shadowed him and kept him out near the line and reduced his options.
Danny Froome now inside to Fox. Fox definitely more visible in the second half so far. Fox assessing his options into Jimmy Barry Murphy, who appears to be double marked by Jack Ryan and whoever else is near him, but Ryan doing his best. He manages to hold off Jimmy Barry Murphy there, and Murphy is forced to bring the ball back inside to Moss O'Dwyer. Moss looks around, and there's about 20 yards of room, and Moss runs into it. Still going Tom O'Dwyer. Ball inside to Owen O'Mahony. O'Mahony with another shooting chance, and it's wide. It looked to be going over, but the wind brought it to the left hand post and let off for Drom Broadford. We've another sub on now coming on for Drom Broadford. It's number 22, Damien Burke, is coming in, just waiting to see who's gone off. Seems to be Dennis Donegan that's coming towards us. Dennis Donegan or Michael O'Sullivan. 12 minutes, actually a double substitution for Drom Broadford. Damien Burke, I didn't quite catch, Matt, did you? The second substitution. Damien Burke is one of them. It's Dennis Donegan and Michael O'Sullivan gone off. I'm still waiting to see. We'll keep up at play. Great take from Killian Fahy. A rare thing from a Drom Broadford kick out so far this evening. Fahy marks the ball and takes it and launches it long. It's not the best of balls, and Stephen Walsh gets a punch to it, and Ballylanders come away with the ball once more. Moss Kelly leaves it off to Brian O'Connell, and it's Stevie Fox back inside. Stephen Walsh now coming, looking ahead to see what's ahead of him. It's a low hand pass, it's a poor one, and Ross Egan intercepts for Drom Broadford. He leaves it off, and Shawnee Buckley is the man on for Drom Broadford. But it looks like Shawnee Buckley, we were told before the game, was an injury doubt for the rest of the season, but it's Shawnee Kelly on now, and that'll be a huge boost to Drom Broadford, Matt.
Yeah, it's a huge boost with entering into the last quarter, to have somebody of the calibre of Shawnee Buckley to bring on it. It's a huge boost, and talking of boost, it looks as if Ballylanders may be about to counteract it, because it appears to me that Kieran O'Callaghan may be about to get ready.
Kieran O'Callaghan has been Ballylanders' leading scorer, mainly from frees this season in the Limerick Senior Football Championship. Meanwhile, Kevin Noonan has a chance here for Drom Broadford. A free from about 35 to 40 metres. Noonan lining it up now with his left foot. Starts it off in the middle, but tails to the right and wide. And it was a difficult chance, Matt, but one he may have expected to get.
Yeah, and I suppose in the context of the game, it's probably one that got away for Drom Broadford, and they certainly will be disappointed. It's 13 points to 1-7. It's 13 scores to 8, and if you factor out the goal in the first minute, since that it's been 13 points to 7, and I suppose it reflects certainly the excellent third quarter that Ballylanders had.
Another chance for Drom Broadford from Patrick Stack. He scored his last one from an acute angle, but this time he was unable to hit the target. And another scoreable chance gone begging for the West Limerick side.
Yeah, but you would have to say Patrick Stack, he probably did everything right there, but he was pressurised into shooting, and Ballylanders are exerting more pressure back there, because certainly Drom Broadford in the first half got scores from loose situations, but the defence has been tighter. Like Stephen Walsh has thundered into the game since midway through the first half, and he's outstanding back there. Shane Walsh or Shane Fox, Morris Kelly, like they're defending back there like tigers. Jason Lee has come on and has done a good job since he has come on. Like Ballylanders have upped the performance all over the field, and it's a question of sustaining it. This game is far from over. It's very, very much in the melting pot.
Brian O'Connell, who's been one of the stars for Ballylanders, won that free, and it's been work left. And Stephen Walsh now on the attack. Walsh lined up by Shawnee Buckley, and it's Buckley, but brilliant from Buckley, showing all his experience there to get back from his centre forward position, dispossess a dangerous Ballylanders attack, and it's from Broadford now trying to work the ball out of their own half, hand passing it down the left hand side. It's Jack Ryan had the ball, but he's lost possession. It's a sideline ball. It's Brian O'Connell yet again for Ballylanders winning. Brian O'Connell's gone down. Mike Sexton's having none of it. Brian O'Connell, hands outstretched, like Sniper Matthew would say, but maybe not on this occasion.
Yeah, there's certainly something happened. He
ball in from Jimmy Barry Murphy to O'Mahony. O'Mahony, chance of a goal. He offs for the point, and Ballylanders lead by 4 again. Superb ball in from Jimmy Barry Murphy. O'Mahony positioned at full forward for the second half. He's been a dangerous proposition all half. Every time the ball goes in, he looks like a score coming from it.
Yeah, and that is reflected in that he has kicked 3 points in the second half and kicked 4 points in total, I suppose, apart from Jimmy Barry Murphy, who has been mainly from frees. He's Ballylanders' most potent forward, but he's an ex-Limerick minor player and was a very good county minor footballer, so I suppose, and still a very young player. I think he's still under 21 perhaps, or just over it, so like, you know, it's something that you would expect from a player of that calibre, but certainly he's been a key man in the second half.
From Broadford back on the attack with Shawnee Buckley after good work from Gerald Gorman. Buckley runs into a double challenge but manages to hold on to possession and finds Stack inside pass to Micheál Brosnan looks for Kevin Noonan pot shot from the edge of the semicircle, and it's gone straight over the bar. Fine score from Kevin Noonan. I believe it's the first from play.
Yeah, it's his first from play, but it's a very, very important score in that it keeps him in touch, because at 4 points down were Ballylanders to get the next score, the gap would begin to yawn a bit, and certainly that keeps it in touch, and it certainly keeps the result very, very much in the melting pot. We're in for a nail-biting last 10 minutes, John.
Indeed we are, and Patrick Stack wins possession from the Ballylanders game. Shawnee Buckley outside rifle, an absolutely glorious pass, but Brian O'Connell is there and Jason Lee as well, and they come out with the ball to Ballylanders. Stephen Walsh has possession. Damien Burke tries to dispossess him, but no danger of that happening with Stephen Walsh storming into it, as Matt explained a few minutes ago, since the middle of the first half. It's Ballylanders' patience to stem it to 3 point lead at the moment. They're in no rush to move the ball upfield. It's O'Mahony, last seen at full forward a couple of minutes ago, but he's back in his own half, helping out his defence as they carry the ball. It's Brian O'Connell to Kelly. O'Connell is lost out, and a chance for Drom Broadford. Drom Broadford don't have enough in, but Shawnee Buckley is one man who's on the attack now. Buckley is fouled, free given in, and a scoreable chance to reduce the gap to 2 points, Matt.
Yeah, you would have to fancy Kevin Noonan or Derry McCarthy, more likely Kevin Noonan, to take this one and reduce the gap to 2 points. But Shawnee Buckley certainly has made an impact in the game, and in typical Shawnee Buckley fashion, he is covering all areas of the pitch. He's been back defending a while ago, and Rob Stephen Walsh going through, you will recall, and here he's creating a free up now at the other end. He's covering a lot of ground, of course. He's probably sent in as an impact sub, and he is just that.
Indeed he is, as Kevin Noonan points that one for Drom Broadford. Another free from the left boot at Kevin Noonan. The Drom Broadford captain reduces Ballylanders' lead to 2 points. Second half, as I said, Ballylanders leading by 2 as Declan O'Connor kicks long. It's long, broken down by Gerda Gorman, but Tom O'Dwyer wins it, the breaking ball for Ballylanders. Ball inside. It's Stevie Fox. There's a great ball. Brian O'Connell marauding up forward. A goal chance here for Ballylanders. A wonderful save. Brilliant save from James Noonan in the balance in the shot. The rebound is taken up, and it's Kieran Kelly who taps it over the bar, I think. Was it, Matt?
Danny Froon.
Danny Froon who's got it.
An excellent point. That was a cheeky point, but it was an excellent passage of play. I'm sure that Danny just spotted that the goalkeeper was slightly disadvantaged off his line, and that he went to chip him in, but he chipped it over the bar with great accuracy, because the angle was so tight.
Was indeed. It was an effort, and there's no doubt Danny Froon, given his level of quality, tried for a goal there, but was unlucky. Inches over the bar that one went, following a great save from James Noonan, Drom Broadford keeper, from Brian O'Connell, who again, we've said it already today, Matt, he's been absolutely everywhere. As Shawnee Buckley puts one inside, looking for Kevin Noonan. Noonan breaks it. Garrett Noonan comes onto it. Noonan heading towards goal now. Garrett Noonan, will he have to fist it over the bar? He's hit it wide, he's punched it wide. A huge chance for a score, and missed by Garrett Noonan.
Yeah, you would have to say good tight defending by Ballylanders. Didn't give much of an option at that point. It would look as if Ballylanders are possibly going to make a substitution. There's deliberations going on here in the line. Certainly they have players down there that can make a difference. There's, for instance, Kieran O'Callaghan, who we thought was warming up a while ago. James Kirby is a hugely experienced player that has played in the county final in 2014, and of course there's David McCarthy, the former Limerick under-21 All-Ireland winning goalkeeper, who's a very, very accomplished footballer. So they have those options, but they are making a change, and it looks as if Kieran Kieran O'Callaghan is no relation, by the way, is about to come on.
No relation indeed, as Matt explains the situation with Ballylanders. Away they come with it. And Moss Kelly coming down the left wing. Moss has had a lot of ball in the second half, coming out of it with from cornerback, and now he's advancing up the field after taking Stephen Walsh's pass. Kelly, high ball in, favouring the defender, and Sean O'Sullivan easily takes it. Sean, yellow card in the first half. He's had a better second half anytime the ball's gone in that way. Ross Egan inside to Damien Burke. Burke loses out, and once again, we've said it so many times, as Brian O'Connell doing the dirty work up and down the field. He wins possession, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy, the mercurial Murphy, looks to strike, and again it's over the bar. A wonderful score from Jimmy Barry Murphy, set up by the tireless Brian O'Connell, and another score for Ballylanders, Matt, and that puts them...
That puts them four clear again, so they're certainly in a strong position, and you'd have to say it's theirs to lose again. But you have been talking there about Brian O'Connell, that was typical Brian O'Connell, terrier-like effort, won a ball, turned over a ball, and set up Jimmy Barry Murphy. But you would have to say that Jimmy Barry Murphy's execution, his coolness, his calmness under the pressure in knocking it over was superb.
Substitution, as Matt was saying earlier, Kieran O'Callaghan is now on the field for Ballylanders. He's come on for Liam Martin midfield as Kieran Kelly lines up another shot, and Ballylanders stretch their lead to 5 points. Another excellently worked score. Again they won the break from the Drom Broadford kick out, worked it into a scoring position, and Kelly made no mistake from 25 metres.
Kelly's speed and accuracy is a resource that Ballylanders can, or any team could ill afford not to use to the maximum, and I think he typified it there. He has typified it with his runs in the first half, and he's typified it with his run and execution there. And
Drom Broadford back on attack, trying to reduce the lead as Derry McCarthy goes in, loses possession, and Stevie Fox is back there and he puts it out for a 45 that will more than likely be taken by maybe not Kevin Noonan. Maybe Derry McCarthy will come back out himself. Doesn't look to be either of them coming out, and Garrett Noonan looks to be lining it up. Well capable of putting this one over, but he's taking it short. Short to Mihal Brosnan and Garrett Noonan from long range. Skies one, and that looks to be going well wide of the post. And it's kept in play there by Patrick Stack, and Declan O'Connor picks up possession, and Jason Lee comes away with it for Ballylanders. Stevie Fox, Jimmy Barry Murphy typifying this effort from Ballylanders back in his own half, and onto Brian O'Connell, switching from right to left wing now with possession under, and Gerard Gorman. He's pulled up for over carrying, but Drom Broadford are calling for more action from Brian O'Connell.
Yeah, there's a bit of afters going on here, all right, but I think it's only handbags. It's the heat of battle. We're into the last defining few moments of it. But again, it was a great run. And Stephen Fox, you will have probably noticed for the last 10 minutes or so, is playing. You will see him playing much nearer to his own goal than the opposition goal. And he absolutely great man in this type of situation.
He's been extremely visible in the last 10 minutes. All right, Matt. Patrick Stack was starting to cause problems down this right hand side, and it seems like Stevie Fox has been earmarked to pinpoint him from this moment forward. Kevin Noonan inside, Killian Fahy, 45 metres from the Ballylanders goal. He opts for the hand pass, the 1-2 indeed, with Derry McCarthy, and it's Garrett Noonan who's definitely advanced up the field. It's a better shot from Garrett Noonan this time around, and that's straight over the bar. 4 points between the teams once again.
With 2 minutes to go, it's important that for Drom Broadford that they stay in touch. But Ballylanders, for the next 2-3 minutes, however long Mike Sexton will decide to add on, it's all about containment. Don't make the errors. Hold on to what they have. Terribly important.
And you're seeing now that Drom Broadford, they're going for goals, and I'll tell you why, because at this stage, the ageless Ray Lynch is on, Matt, and we all know at this stage Ray Lynch has an amount of experience and is well able to sniff out a goal when needed.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just see the wealth of experience that they were in a position to call off the bench in their hour of need. Shawnee Buckley first and now Ray Lynch. But it's Ballylanders that are on the attack, and they'll want to keep the ball up that side of the field.
Indeed it is, with Jimmy Barry Murphy inside, and Kieran Kelly with his second point in the space of 5 minutes. Another wonderful, with ease, Ballylanders worked that ball up the field. Jimmy Barry Murphy, he's been scoring points, he's been setting them up, and this time it's for Kieran Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's Kieran Kelly's second point, and we did make the point earlier on. Oh, great catch by Mark O'Connell there, and it's Ballylanders where they want to be attacking.
Indeed, what superb catch from Mark O'Connell, a feature of Ballylanders' play, without question, as the way they've attacked Drom Broadford's kick out from the first minute, and it's proved fruitful for them throughout this game. Here's O'Mahony with the ball and leaves it off, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy. Very much a possession game for Ballylanders at the moment. It's Barry Murphy inside to Jason Lee. Lee gives the ball, and it's Kieran O'Callaghan who wins it. O'Callaghan onto his right foot, and it's over the bar from O'Callaghan, and surely, Matt, at this stage it looks like victory for Ballylanders.
Yeah, it looks like the Ballylanders are on course for their first victory of the campaign at this stage, because we're heading in, the time on the watch says time is up, and we're into whatever time that Mike Sexton decides to add on. In the meantime, from Broadford are introducing Michael Ryan into the game, and it would look as if it's Keith Lacey that's coming off from here.
Yeah, it's Keith Lacey, all right, coming off, Matt. Is it too late now at this stage for Michael Ryan to make an impact? Time will tell, but a 6 point lead now for Ballylanders. in the last couple of minutes, and they don't look at this stage to be anywhere near leaving this league goal. From Broadford badly in need of a goal, or at least one goal, certainly more than likely more than that. It's going to be another free as Mike Sexton goes in to sort it out. Nothing really needed to sort out there as Drom Broadford will look to launch this. In fact, they go back. Ballylanders looking to make a sub, but Mike Sexton has waved that away, and away comes Drom Broadford with the ball. Garrett Noonan coming down the right wing with this ball. The Limerick inter-county player inside to Derry McCarthy. McCarthy advancing away into space, beats two on the way. Mike Sexton pulls it back for a free. A ball that will more than likely have to be put in long, that Derry McCarthy is going to take. Ballylanders still looking to make that substitution, but not happening yet, as Garrett Noonan has a go at the outside of his right hand boot. Well wide of target, not what Drom Broadford needed at this moment.
No, certainly not, and Ballylanders are going to waste a few more precious seconds. James Kirby is coming into the game, again an experienced player, and it looks to me that it is Owen Walsh is coming.
Indeed it is Owen Walsh. A superb performance, started at full forward but funneled back into the midfield area for most of the second half. More of a link man than a scoring player this evening, but hugely invaluable to Ballylanders. And as Matt said, the vastly experienced James Kirby is on, but it's Drom Broadford with Shawnee Buckley on the ball. Buckley into Lynch. Good dart, but it's Garrett Noonan who's been at the centre of the majority of the Drom Broadford attacks in the last 5 minutes. Wins a free. It's a foul by Lee. Went to take it free, and Mike Sexton will bring this in closer and closer to the goal on the 21 metre line. Yellow card shown to one of the Ballylanders. I think it's Stephen Walsh. At this stage it shouldn't be too much of an issue anyway.
No, it's quite simple for Drom at this stage. I think they have to engineer a goal. Anything less is of no use. And
it was Drom Broadford went for the goal, but again, as it's been most of the game, it's Brian O'Connell that came out with it. Inside to his brother Mark, and Brian, the tireless Brian O'Connell, down the right hand side. No doubt looking for a free, and it's one he wins. A poor challenge from Joro Gorman. Maybe looking for some retribution from a clash earlier in this half. Won't matter much to Brian O'Connell as Ballylanders look to finish this game out by holding on to possessions. Jimmy Barry Murphy on the ball. Across his own 45, Kieran O'Callaghan has now moved back inside his own half, with Stevie Fox being repositioned in the full forward. And again, Barry Murphy with a low ball looking for Fox. Fox can't taste it, but he wins a sideline ball off Jack Ryan, and again it's only a case now of wasting more and more precious seconds for Ballylanders.
A bit of experience there again, I think, of Steve Fox, like in forcing the defender to put the ball out over the line and getting the kick, the line ball for Ballylanders, and of course wasting absolutely priceless time when we're 2 minutes into injury time at this stage. I think there can be only a minute or two left at this point, and it's 19 points to 110. Ballylanders will be very pleased with their total of 19 points.
Absolutely, and they've dominated the second half. We were discussing during the first half and at half time how important this breeze has been, but Ballylanders have completely thrown that one out the window anyway.
Yeah, we did say at the start that a breeze doesn't win games, and I suppose this is a concrete example of it. And Ballylanders will be extremely pleased with their second half, because it has been a most encouraging performance. Because you would have to say to a certain degree that the odds were against them at half time, and it's all over now.
Indeed, it is a wonderful performance from Ballylanders here to beat Drom Broadford. 19 points to 110, this Irish Wire product sponsored Limerick Senior Football Championship. They move on to 3 points now from 3 games, while Drom Broadford stay on 2. Matt, final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I suppose in the context of the group, it's a hugely important win, and we did say at the outset, John, that it was far more important. For the 2 points were far more crucial for Ballylanders than they were for Drom Broadford. Not that they weren't important for Drom Broadford. It certainly gives Drom Broadford some work to do now to qualify for the concluding stages. Ballylanders are not out of the woods by any manner or means yet. They have two more games to go, and certainly they will take huge encouragement from this performance, and they will go into their next game next weekend when they're due to play Monaleen here in Kilmallock on next Saturday evening, I think it is, with a certain element of not only confidence but a certain swagger based on the second half. Yes, they had their failings. They had failings certainly in the first half, in that their conversion rate wasn't what it should have been. They were slow and ponderous in their build-up in the first half, and certainly they corrected that after half-time in that they moved the ball forward faster. They pressed Drom Broadford back, and it paid dividends, and they had the forwards that got the crucial scores. O'Mahony was pivotal in that, picking up 3 points from play. Jimmy Barry Murphy, he was excellent throughout, both from frees and in his contribution to play, and he picked off a point or two also from play. But the engine of Brian O'Connell was something else, and the amount of ground that he covered for Drom Broadford. They too have 2 games left. They have 2 points. They certainly have a bit of work to do. But whenever Drom Broadford's backs have been to the wall in the last 2 decades, it's then we see them at their best. But you would have to say that the level of experience that they had with the experienced players in the past may not be there at present, that they're a team that certainly are very, very, very much in transition, and certainly they need to turn it around pretty quickly now, because you run out of games very, very quick in this, and we did say at the start in our intro that when we were talking about the importance of the third round and what can happen in the third round and the movement in the third round, we've seen it there this evening, and it couldn't be better from a Ballylanders point of view. It heightens the challenge for Drom in the remaining 2 rounds. It's still a very, very interesting group. Nothing has been decided. All we know is that Adair are definitely through to the knockout stages in Group 1. Other than that, it's all to play for still.
Indeed it is. They're the thoughts of the Vale Star Weekly Observer's Matt O'Callaghan, who's been on co-commentary today with me for Sporting Limerick. Join us again soon for more action.